You bought all your supplies yet? You know, some folks forget about some important items that might prove right useful out on the trail. Just about everybody buys food, extra clothes, guns, ammunition, and spare wagon parts. But there's some other things you might want to take as well. Well, I wouldn't go without a good long rope or chain, which can help in crossin' rivers or going up and down steep hills.
Hey, you looking for a wagon train to hook up with? Our train's still in need of a few more wagons. You want to join us? We're planning on leaving soon. We're a large group of good, hard-working folks. I wouldn't even dream of heading out on the trail alone, or even with any fewer than 10 wagons. The more people you go with, the greater your chances of survival, and that's the gospel truth.
Good day to you, friend. I'm new here in town. I'm making ready to head out on the trail west. Ah, so you're doing the same. Well, maybe we can link up with the same wagon train. I wouldn't start out with less than, say, 400 pounds of food per person. Of course, how much you can take depends on how big your wagon is and how many draft animals you got.
Ain't this exciting? All these folks bustling about, getting ready to strike out on the trail. Just speaking for myself, I can't wait. I've spent pretty near all my life so far cooped up in my parents' home back east. But I just got married 4 weeks ago, and now my husband and I are heading out to make a new life for ourselves. I hear disease is the biggest danger on the trail. You gotta stay healthy, eat right, don't push yourself too hard, and get rest when you're sick. And be careful at rivers. Rivers kill almost as many people as disease, but I'm sure we'll do all right.
You bought everything you need yet? We probably don't have much more time before we have to start heading out on the trail. I've been shopping around comparing prices. Now and then you find a good deal, but dad blame it if I don't think these merchants here have gotten together and worked things out so's they keep the prices high. Buy your provisions now while you can. Any stores or trading posts we come across on the trail ain't likely to have as good a selection as here. And if you think the prices here are bad, whoo-wee, I hear they's 2-3 times higher out west.
Morning. Hi there. How you doing?
Howdy.
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 You bought all your supplies yet? You know, some folks forget about some.
How you doing?
I see you're fixin' to head out west, too. My husband's all rarin' to go, but I must say I have my apprehensions. I hear terrible stories about vast deserts, wild animals, disease, and Indian attacks. We got ourselves a good life here in the East, and I don't see why we have to uproot ourselves now. Well, if you must go, I guess I should say if we must go, I'd suggest making sure we have strong, healthy animals and a good, sturdy wagon with spare parts. Our lives will depend on 'em.
Don't waste your time on these penny-ante stations and trading posts. They got next to nothing, and what they do got, they try to cheat you over.
This may be our last chance for a while to buy or trade for supplies.
Howdy. Let me set this wheel aside for a moment. There. Sure am glad these way stations have been set up for us. I probably don't need to tell you that Mount Pisgah was named for a place in the Bible. This station was established with the specific purpose of helping the immigrants heading west. If you're in want of some supplies, you might find what you need inside. Can't guarantee they have what you're looking for, but they do seem to do their best.
I sure would like to stop here for a bit. I could use some fresh supplies.
Let's stop here a while. I'd like to see what they have here.
This is a good opportunity for trading.
I am Joseph Mascoutin of the Fire Nation. Welcome to our home. The Fire Nation is often known as the Potawatomi. We are many bands. Our ancestors lived in the place now called Michigan. We now live in Iowa and Kansas. Like many in my village, I'm a trader. I have food, furs, and many goods made by both Indians and white folks. If you like, we can trade.
We should continue on our journey.
Ain't this exciting? All these folks bustling about, getting ready to strike out on...
Howdy.
Hello.
Goodness, have you ever seen anything like this in all your born days? I've lived here for quite some time, but this place is growing like an anthill. Seems like another new shop or business opening up every few days. I see you're fixing to head out on the trail. I have nothing but admiration for you good people going out to populate the western country. Now's the best time to buy all the supplies you need. before you get out in the wilderness. Take plenty of food. I hear you can't always count on good hunting out west.
Howdy. Howdy.
Hello.
Howdy, stranger. It looks like you're fixing to head out west, too. Fine opportunity for people with the gumption to do it. We brought a few personal items with us, but we're hoping to buy our foodstuffs and fresh animals here. But I ain't too sure exactly where to go first. Don't devote any great portion of time to packing your wagon till you bring in all your supplies. We're planning to pack up the wagon whilst we're waiting for the train to assemble.
Morning.
Hello, friend. Are you also preparing to set out on the trail for the new land? That's what we're doing, my folks and me. Our home caught fire and burned last month, and we lost pretty near everything, except our lives, praise the Lord. So we figured we might as well go west. I wouldn't leave with fewer than 4 draft animals. 6 or more would be even better. Take plenty of food and clothes, and maybe a few spare wagon parts. Don't waste money or wagon space on much else.
Morning.
Hello, friend. Say, has your wagon train formed yet? And have you met to form the council that'll provide guidance and governance on your long journey? The bylaws and regulations drawn up by your self-elected council will be your only law on the trail. You got to keep out the bad element and make arrangements for settling disputes. The bylaws and regulations drawn up by your self-elected council. I have here a complete and elegantly scripted constitution, suited to all upright citizens. Drew it up myself. I had a year in law school, you know. If you let me join your wagon train, I'll be glad to offer this here constitution to you free of charge. I have here a
Have you decided the best time to leave yet? Well, some leave real early to get a jump on the other wagons and to give themselves plenty of time. But then there may not be much grass for the animals and you may run into spring snows. It's best not to leave too late either. Then you may not make it all the way before the winter snows hit. I'd recommend leaving in April or even early May.
Hello. Good day to you, friend. I'm new here in town. I'm making ready to head out.
Hi there.
Ain't this exciting?
Howdy.
Why do you bother me? I don't want to trade. The things we get from the white travelers don't make up for all that we lose. We didn't know the whooping cough, measles, or smallpox until your people brought them to us. Our medicine cannot cure these strange diseases, and our children are dying. No! I just want you to leave us alone.
Howdy. Howdy. Howdy.
We should continue on our journey.
We should conduct our business here and be on our way.
Why do you bother me? I don't want to.
We should continue on our journey.
We should conduct our business.
I say we continue on our way.
I think it's time we be moving on now.
Well, what have we here? Some more eastern greenhorns trying their luck at crossing the wilderness. I ain't got to say nothing to you if I don't want to. None that I'm prepared to offer you.
The trail teaches you a hearty appetite. Each day, the bacon, biscuit, and coffee taste just as good as any family feast we had back home. Wood's mighty scarce. We're lucky we've been able to find such things as buffalo chips and sage to burn for our cook fires. Give thanks each day for this fine opportunity to move on to a new land and a new life.
Howdy, I'm looking for my cat Molly. Have you seen her? We hear there ain't many cats out west yet, and some folks will pay good money for one, so they can catch the mice and rats. We're hoping Molly will have lots of kittens that we can sell. We had a milk cow, but she died a while back. Now all Molly's got to eat is our meat scraps. If you got a milk cow, take good care of her. I think I miss the fresh milk pretty near as much as Molly does.
I think we ought to keep going.
Let's keep going.
Time is a waste.
Howdy! You know, I've been tramping and trading in these yar mountains for near 20 years. Thunderation! Last year a young grizzly invited itself to breakfast. In the tussle it bit me right on the shoulder. I reckon I'm not going to take that from man or beast, so I bit it right back. That thar bar ain't bothered a soul since. If in some of your party take the scurvy, feed 'em a bit of raw wild onions. That'll cure 'em. Works near well as fruit in preventing it, too.
I am Inuna Ina, whom you call the Arapaho. My name is Green Eyes. Our chief is Talks to the Coyote. He doesn't know your language, so he will speak through me. My father was a white man. Talks to the Coyote says that you are crossing the land of the Inuna Ina. You should offer gifts for this privilege. Act as though you want to trade, but ask for nothing in return. I suggest you offer gifts. Talks to the Coyote is a powerful man. He can be a strong friend or a strong enemy. Friendship with the Arapaho can be a great advantage to you on the next leg of your journey.
Howdy, my name's Brewster Lemaire. My brother and I are heading to California, just having left Wisconsin. We're just stopping to get a look at that great curiosity they call Chimney Rock. We've been speculating on that rock ever since it came into view. My brother claimed it looked most like a dead tree that no one bothered to clear away. I figured it bears greater resemblance to a fence pole, placed there by some giant hand. Take a needle and thread to that coat of yours. It looks a mite wore out.
Let's keep...
I think it's time we be moving on.
Let's move on.
this might be a good place to rest a while. Just what I said. We've done enough traveling for the time being. It won't hurt to stop for a day or two. Yeah, listen to what I'm saying. Let's stop here to rest.
They tell me someone in this wagon train is looking for a doctor. Is that true? Well, to be honest with you, I haven't been in regular practice for a number of years, but I'll be right pleased to do what I can. Next time you get to a town with a decent pharmacist, you might want to stock up on some basic medicines. Of course, you might have a pretty good supply already.
I hope you don't mind me saying that I've had just about enough of this journey. I've a good mind to stay right here, at least for a week or two, and then turn around and head back home. I've never experienced such troubles as I have on this trail. I figure I'm lucky to still be alive. Only trouble is, if I were to decide to go back, I don't know if I could find anyone to go with me. And I'm not about to travel by myself. Oh, I suppose we should just get on with it. We can rest here a short while, but then let's get going. The sooner we leave, the sooner I can put this part of my life behind me.
Wait a minute. Just let me finish writing this in my diary. There. You know, I don't know what we'd do if it weren't for these forts along the way. It sure is a comfort to me knowing that, even way out here in the wilderness, every now and then there's a place where we can relax a spell. I vote we stay here a couple days and rest up. It won't do any of us no good if we exhaust ourselves.
You folks looking to do some trading? Trading is one of the main things people do out here at forts. Why, it's pert near a form of entertainment for some souls. Keep a sharp eye out on your supplies and your money. There's some unscrupulous types around here that wouldn't mind relieving you of some of your possessions.
Howdy. I'm one of the regulars here at the fort. I'm here for the adventure and the steady pay. The conditions is tolerable, and I can send a bit of money home to my ma. I've been here since last spring. Before that, I was part of a troop down by Santa Fe. We travel out most days, checking the area and calling on the immigrants. You might take advantage of this place to rest a while and build up your strength for the next part of your journey. And maybe you wouldn't mind sharing a bit of your home cooking with the poor feller? I've a mighty longin' for my sweet mama's fine victuals.
At every fort or trading post along the trail, prices have been higher than at the previous place. This is outrageous. They're taking advantage of us. If I had the chance to do it all over again, I'd buy more supplies at the beginning of our journey. Well, we might as well get what we need right here. Goodness knows it'll probably be even more expensive further down the road.
I trust you all don't mind us joining up with your wagon train. My husband got sick with the dysentery and we got left behind. But he's well now and we're ready to move on. We're all mighty anxious for letters. None here at the fort, though. I fear the letters got dumped back in the States or otherwise got lost along the way. It's a long way from Kentucky with no word from the dear family left behind. I do miss them so. Keep your faith in the successful conclusion of this journey. It's a fine opportunity to settle in a new home.
This might be a good place to...
Look at all them carvings on the rock. If that don't beat all. You reckon that's why they call this place Register Rock? Because people register their names on it? What do you say we go on over to the rock and carve our own names on it? Then folks from all over the country will know we were there before them.
Let's move on.
I am a Nunaina, whom you call the Arapaho. My name is Whitehawk. I'm waiting here for my son, who is trading nearby. Long before we ever saw wagon people like you, a rare white hawk perched on a rock near my father's teepee. I took it as a sign for my new name, and ever since has it been changed. The men here are fair traders, not like many others my son and I have met. Perhaps when my son returns, we can trade with you too.
I sure would like to stop here for a bit.
stop here a while. I'd like to see what they have here.
Let's move on.
Fine scenery round these parts.
Back home, I used to enjoy nothing more than going hunting. Now I can't hardly abide it. I'm all wore out from the traveling and take no pleasure in the chase. Last week, a group went out a-hunting and didn't get back till quite late. They got lost and only found their way back by the barking of the dogs. Advice? Just follow your nose. If when you keep it pointed in the right direction, you'll accompany it to wherever you're going.
We met a man yesterday who said he'd already been to California. His report bore a good account of the country and the quality of the land to be had. That was a relief to hear. Thunderation! I've been working for other folks all my life. In the new land, I'm going to have my own land and herd. Yes, sir, I can hear them cattle calling my name. I hear California's the best place for raising cattle. Acres of wild oats keep 'em fat and happy. Oregon's more country for farming and lumbering.
Top of the day to you, friend. Name's Casey O'Neill, late of County Clare in Old Ireland. All my relations said that the only place in the world for a young man to go to make his way nowadays is America. So I booked my passage, and now here I am, on my way to an unspoiled land, ready for enterprise. I've heard it said that there are many cutoffs to take to shorten this journey. That by taking all the shortcuts, you can save many days on the trail. And why not? Saving time and provisions is worth the risk.
Why, hello. Come sit a spell and talk. I do declare that I'm starting to weary of this journey. No butter, cheese, or fresh fruit since Fort Laramie. Bless me, but I'd rather have my larder full of food back home than have our names carved on that there rock. Well, 'tis a sight more cheery than all the graves we passed. I don't know about you, but I'll be sure to stock up on good food the next chance we get. I just hope we can hold out till the next fort or trading post.
I think we ought to keep going.
Hey there. Say, guess what? I carved my name way up the side of Independence Rock, near the top. There are hundreds of names up there. The oldest ones were carved by mountain men and explorers. Famous names like Fremont, Bonneville, and De Smet. Yeah, go on up and carve your own name. Be ashamed to come all this way and not do it.
Howdy, are you looking for my ma and pa? They're just round the other side of the wagon doing some chores. Why do they call this place Devil's Gate? It don't look so devilish to me, just a couple of big rocks that the river goes through. No, but I hope we meet up with some more wagons with children. My friend Jenny Carlson got drowned back crossing the Platte. And I'm mad at Tommy Blaine 'cause he called Susie here just a dumb old doll.
Don't bother me right now. I ain't got time for idle chat. If you ain't the persistent one, I told ya I got work to do. I recommend you get a move on, lessen you're camping right here. Not that I'm inviting you or anything.
Howdy, friend. Fine day, isn't it? Least as fine as one can expect right now hereabouts. Be warned. Don't dig a water hole. Drink only river water. Salty as some of these rivers are, it's better than the cholera. We buried my husband just last week. No more than I've already given you, but I could use some help with this here harness if you can spare the time.
Well, I ain't sure which way we ought to go now. According to this here guidebook, the right fork goes a rugged route where we have to cross the river 3 times. But the left fork takes us through some deep sand. Could even be quicksand. Tarnation! I'm afeard that whichever way we go, we'll wind up regretting it. Might as well flip a coin and take our dad-blamed chances.
I don't know which way we should go. I figured you would.
On the 3 crossings route, you have to cross the river 3 times, and river crossings are always risky.
On the deep sands route, the sand is thick and heavy, and wagons can get bogged down in it. Why, I even hear it can turn to quicksand after heavy rains.
Which way is west?
Weather's not right for crossing a river. We should wait.
We should ford this river.
You know, this riverbank makes for a good restin' place. Let's rest here a time before crossin'.
Dad, burn it, another cussed river to cross. Well, I guess there's nothing to do but plunge on in. Oh, there's some that say you ought to check out the depth of the river or worry about its condition. But I always say, just do it. Follow my lead. Don't listen to them other jackasses. Follow my lead. Don't listen to them other jackasses. Follow my lead. Don't listen to them other jackasses. Follow my lead. Don't listen to them other jackasses.
I think we should cross the river now.
This hill is no big deal. Let's just keep going.
Good day to you folks. My name is Philip Maddox. I'm an artist with this surveying expedition. The U.S. government has commissioned us to map the land and to bring back some illustrations of the Indians, as well as the plant and animal life hereabouts. Check your supplies often. Can't stress too much the importance of that. And don't waste a whole lot of time hunting, at least if it isn't an emergency. You won't get much, you'll delay your progress, and you risk antagonizing the local Indians.
We should wait a while before crossing.
I don't like the looks of the river right now. Let's wait before crossing.
Let's move on.
We're in need of a rest, and this is as good a place as any.
I say we continue on our way.
Buen día. This dry sandy, as it is known, is quite an interesting place, is it not? It is almost like a river that flows under the sand. In spots it is as dry as a bone, with scattered bogs of mud. But after a little rain, it can turn to quicksand. And in a very wet spells, the water can rise up into a sizable river. Be very careful. I have long been a trader in these parts. Watch out for mud holes and how do you say, a quicksand. And don't drink any water unless it is flowing. The stagnant water here can be poisonous.
Let's move on.
Let's keep going.
I think it's time we...
I think we ought to keep...
I think we should cross the river now.
I always say, if there's a ferry, take it.
Weather's not right for crossing a river. We should wait.
Looks fairly deep to me. I say we float across.
Let's move on.
I think we ought to keep going.
I hope you don't mind me saying that I've had just about...
This might be a good place to rest.
I declare, I'm sure glad we made it to this here fort. It ain't exactly civilization, but it's the best we seen in a good long time. I'm going to see what kind of supplies they have over here in this store or trading post. I hear some of these frontier forts have plenty of provisions, while others ain't got much more than salt pork and rancid flour. If I was you, I'd check my supplies and see if there's anything I need before even thinking about moving on.
Howdy do, neighbor. Are you in need of my services? You won't find a blacksmith much better than me. When I'm finished with my current batch of repairs, I'll be pleased to help you. I can make or repair wheel rims, shoe your animals, what have you, and I charge reasonable rates. Your animals and your wagon are the only things that'll assure your success on this journey. Worn out or sore-footed animals can get you in a heap of trouble. Take good care of them, and they'll take good care of you.
Howdy.
How's doing, friends? You must belong to that wagon train that just pulled in. I'm a scout round about these parts. I hire myself out to the army, wagon train surveyors, just about anyone in need of my services. Sorry I can't help you folks right now. I got me a contract and I'm sticking to it. Rest up here for a day or two and restock your supplies. But don't waste too much time. You'd best be heading on your way soon to beat the snows.
Howdy, immigrants. Welcome to my fort. I'm Jim Bridger, co-proprietor of this oasis in the wilderness. I hope you find everything you want here. We got a well-provisioned trading post, a first-rate blacksmith, and even some fresh draft animals if you need them. Feel free to stay a while, a few days, even a week or so if you like. You do well to rest up a bit before heading out again. The roughest part of the trail still lies ahead.
Howdy, we're having to lighten the load on our wagon. I've carried my mother's framed mirror all the way from home. It's with great effort that I cast off this last gentle reminder of the dear friends and family I've left behind. But our success in reaching the end of the trail is of greater import. None save to do whatever you can to make the work on your animals a little easier. Lighten your load, rest 'em often, take good care of 'em. If you lose your animals, you're in danger of losing your life.
I'm feeling a mite poorly today. I'm suffering a headache and a touch of the ague. The weight of the wagon requires me to walk, though I do feel my strength well sapped. I reckon the miles will pass whether I'm ill or well. When you're feeling down, take a small dose of chamomile tea every chance you get. My meager supply ran out some days ago, leaving me in this sorry state.
Top of the day to you, friend. Name's Casey O'Neill, late of County Clare in Old Ireland. All my relations said that the only place in the world for a young man to go to make his way nowadays is up.
Howdy, we're having to lighten the load on our wagon.
I say we out to float across this here river.
Lordy, I've just about had it with these rivers. Can't wait to get back to civilization.
We're heading back while we're still able. We've had enough. Go back. Ain't nothing up ahead but disease, disaster, and death. Mark my words, you'll wish you had.
That there's my wagon over on the other side with nothing much in it but a barrel of flour and some bedding. Soon as I get these animals across the river, I'm going after that thieving rascal who robbed me. I paid that varmint $2 to help us cross. That smiling coyote took the wagon cross, and whilst we was preparing the animals, he took the valuables out of the wagon and lit off like a jackrabbit being chased by a bobcat. I'm so darn spittin' mad I can't tell you nothing exceptin' to please get out of my way. And if you see that sow-bellied scoundrel, hold him for me.
You know, this riverbank makes for a good resting place.
Looks like a good place to lay by for a day or so before we cross. There be water for laundering, and I figure the river'll track some game upstream come evening. The people and animals alike need a bit of rest. If we do right by the animals now, we'll reach the end of our journey all the sooner. I say we recruit the animals for a day and do some hunting come evening. Most folks is ready for a rest.
I say we continue on our way.
I think we ought to keep...
Conditions aren't likely to improve anytime soon. We should go ahead and cross the river.
We've been dilly-dallying enough over the past few days. I'm anxious to put this river behind me and make a few more miles today. I've heard enough debate about how to cross. I reckon it's time to get on with it. There's enough wagons to get over yet today. Keep your head about you and you won't run into no trouble. It's them that plunge ahead without thinking that gets in a pickle whilst crossing rivers.
They call this the City of Rocks, 'cause of all the strange rock formations, kinda like buildings in a city. I never seen nothing like this before. Well, the trail's mighty rough through here. Maybe we ought to slow our pace a bit, make it easier on the animals, lessen the chances of wagon damage, too.
I think we ought to.
I say we continue.
Weather's not right for...
I think we should cross the river now.
Lordy, I've just about had it with these rivers.
This river doesn't look too deep. Let's ford it.
You Americans, I know some of your language. We're Paiute. Do you want to trade? We have grasshoppers. They are good to eat. There aren't many large animals around here. You won't find much to hunt with your long guns. You're crossing difficult country. Stay close to the rivers. If you have to cross a desert where there's no water, you should only cross at night.
Conditions aren't likely to improve anytime soon. We should go ahead and cross the river.
Howdy. My pa says we're getting ready to go through a desert. I'm scared. I've heard stories about people dying of thirst in deserts. I wish we wasn't going. Maybe you can talk to the other grown-ups, get them to change their minds.
Top of the day to you, friend. Name's Keith.
Fine scenery round these parts.
Howdy, name's Austin Billings. I'm traveling with my wife Sophie. We hail from Texas. I bought my way out of slavery working as a part-time cowhand, and Sophie was a free woman who earned a living as a seamstress. We're going west to build a new life. Pretty much like everyone else, I reckon. Some people push themselves too hard 'cause they're afraid of the winter snows. And that's a reasonable fear, but it's just as risky to overexert yourself. We keep a steady pace, no more than that, and make sure to take a day off now and then to rest.
Good day to you folks. My name is Philip Maddox.
The trail teaches you a hearty appetite. Each day,
Top of the day to you, friend.
You know, a lot of you greenhorns heading across the country don't know much about surviving in the mountains. It gets awful cold even in summer. Many a traveler crossing the mountains too late in the year has gotten snowbound and died. You get yourself across the mountains before winter comes, or you'll be too dead to be sorry.
We met a man yesterday who said he'd
I'm going to St. Louis to have me a look at civilization. The game just ain't so plentiful as it once was, and there's getting to be so many people passing by, I might just as well be in a city. Keep your ears open when you're hunting. One of them big cats pretty near got me last week. So busy thinking about my supper, I almost became supper instead. And trade the Indians for some moccasins. Them shoes of yourn are looking worn.
Well, what have we here? Some more eastern greenhorns trying their luck at crossing the wilderness. I ain't got to say nothing to you if I don't want to. None that I'm prepared to offer you.
Whenever we noon, we have the children rest under the wagon for a bit of shade. The relentless sun draws more strongly from our strength than do the walking and climbing. I dearly love to have a sly look in at home to see what they're about. I'm pleased to move on to a new life, but leaving family and old friends is a trial indeed. Keep your faith, friend. Our journey's end draws closer each day.
Howdy, name's Austin Billings. I'm traveling with...
My brother commenced to farming out west 2 years ago. He said a better wheat crop can't be had. I hear a young child in a train just behind us was killed yesterday when a rifle fired accidentally as someone set it in the wagon. They buried that young'un and covered the grave with stones so as the wolves couldn't reach it. Try not to overextend yourself. If you're constantly going at an arduous pace, you increase your chances of someone getting sick or injured. Trust me, I know.
Whenever we noon, we have...
Back home, I used to enjoy nothing.
Howdy, partner. Good to see ya. All along the trail we find wagon irons and keg hoops cast off, piles of bones marking the remains of someone's prized animal. Like our poor stock, I'm plumb wore out. Afraid I ain't one to give advice. You might take it, and then you'd be in hot water for sure.
Fine scenery round these parts.
Sure is purty country roundabouts here. Might be a good place to settle down someday. Mind you, I'm not fixin' to put roots down here just yet. I've got my eye on some of that nice farming country up in the Rogue River Valley, where we're headin'. This looks like it'd be a good place to rest a whiles. Good water, nice forage. Yeah, ideal spot to rest.
I think we ought to keep going.
Howdy, friend. Fine day, isn't it? Least as fine as...
Howdy, we're having to lighten the load on our wagon.
I'm going to St. Louis to have me a...
This hill looks mighty steep. I'd be careful going up there.
This hill is no big deal. Let's just keep going.
Unhitch the animals and drive them up the hill. Then hook them back up to the wagons with these long ropes and chains, and they can pull the wagons up.
Heaven help us! Another batch of mountains to cross. Why can't all mountain ranges have easy passes like back there at South Pass? Back at that last big hill, my wagon pretty near tipped over. Just luck kept it from falling over. I hate to think what might have happened. We better take it slow and easy. Double teaming the animals might be a good idea. We don't want to have any major mishaps this close to the end of our journey.
I recommend we double team the animals before trying to make our way up this hill.